today I thought I would do the 90s tag because I am a diehard 90s baby. I was born in 93 and I just loved everything about my childhood in the 90s. It was awesome. So I thought I would share with you guys some of my favorite moments from the 90s. Let's jump right in. Okay, so my favorite TV show. Wow, that's a tough question. I watched a lot of TV in the 90s. I loved all of that. Who didn't? And the Amanda Show, and just basically everything on Nickelodeon back in the 90s. And let's see, on Disney Channel, I loved watch Winnie the Pooh in the afternoons, and I loved The Little Mermaid. Oh, I wanted to be Ariel so badly as a kid, like for real. Like my mom made me this thin suit mermaid thing that I used to wear in the bathtub. So yeah, I was a diehard The Little Mermaid's fan.
Under the sea, take it from me, or listen to me, something like that. It's been a while, but I loved The Little Mermaid back in the day.
My favorite toy. Well, specifically in the 90s, my favorite toy had to be my Barbie doll, like, of course. But I think this might have been like inching into the 2000s, but I loved my Barbie cash register. I still have that toy to this day. Loved it, still play with it on occasion. Don't judge me. I love my Barbie cash register. Classic one. Okay, my favorite commercial. I wasn't really watching commercials in the 90s. I don't really remember any. I guess like just the commercials they used to play on Cartoon Networks that would like advertise the toys. So I used to like to watch those. Ask my mom for the toys that I saw. Okay, NSYNC or Backstreet Boys? Is this a question? NSYNC all the way, all the way. I was in love with Justin Timberlake. I'm not really anymore. I don't know, like the appeal kind of dropped off me a little bit, but NSYNC all the way. On Disney Channel, I would be up singing and dancing to all their music videos. This I Promise You, Bye Bye Bye, It's Gonna Be Me. Oh yeah, that was, it was gonna be me to marry Justin, but I got over him. Weirdest fashion trend. Do you remember those really big shoes people used to wear in the 90s? Like, I know chunky heels are kind of coming back today, but back then the shoes just seemed to be really, really big with like these crunchy gym pants people used to wear. I never understood that trend. I don't think I ever wore those, at least I hope not. I'll have to look back through some pictures. But they were just really big, and like everything was just so, I don't know, I didn't like 90s fashion very much, honestly. 80s and 90s fashion I wasn't a big fan of, so especially those big shoes, don't like them. My favorite collectible, Beanie Babies. I had so many Beanie Babies. I had all the different animals, different colors, like there were so many of them. I don't remember any of their names now, but back in the day, Beanie Babies, a whole shelf. Like there was a Beanie Babies section in my room, for real. Like I was a Beanie Baby baby. Oh, my favorite Beanie Baby. Well, okay. Like I said, I can't remember any of their names. There was a red one, and it was a bear. It was a little red bear. Don't remember the name, but that was my favorite one. I might have it still in my attic somewhere, but he loved him. I took that thing everywhere. How many Tamagotchis did you go through? Okay, I have no idea what that is. I really don't. Never heard of it. Next question. Favorite game console and games. Okay, here's another fact about me. I never played video games. You can check out my 50 random facts video to learn more about that. And I'll post a link for it somewhere around here. Yeah, but I explained I never got into video games and I still don't really like them, so I've never played video games. But I did play computer games, like little CD-ROM games you put in your computer, and my favorite one was Clue Finders. A little mystery type game was that you go on this quest to find stuff and you have to use like math and school topics to get there. I used to love Clue Finders, loved it. Favorite Disney Channel original movie? This question, I could spend 30 minutes answering this, but I have to pick, okay, Johnny Tsunami. I loved Johnny Tsunami. I still watch that movie whenever I can. I loved it. I loved when he went and learned how to snowboard, and then he loved his grandpa. That's where I learned the word mahalo. So good. And I loved Xenon Girl of the 21st Century. Ah, that was one of my favorite movies. I cannot tell you how many times I used to watch that, literally wishing that I could go and live in space. It just looks so cool. And then Protozoa, zoom, zoom, zoom. And now that I've been to college and I took biology and microbiology, that is not a cool name. Protozoas, for one, are not cute, and they're a little creepy when you look at them under a microscope. But back in the 90s, Protozoa, Xenon. Oh, that movie was just epic. I loved it. Still love it to this day. Oh, and my other one. Okay, this is a little strange. I love Smart House. That's a given. And the other one, what is it called? Oh, Stepsister from Planet Weird. Just the name in itself can tell you that's a whacked movie. But I used to watch it all the time. Don't know why. And wasn't at the end they got rid of the bubble people with hair dryers or something really, really random like that? I loved that movie. That was a classic, even though it was sort of stupid. My favorite music artist. Well, for me, when I was a little kid, I was an only child. Well, I am an only child, and my parents were really into old school, like 70s, 60s, 70s, and 80s music. So honestly, until I was about 12, I didn't realize that there was a lot more out there than that. So besides like NSYNC, my favorite music artists were like Earth, Wind and Fire and Marvin Gaye and what's another good one? Like The Temptations. So I love really, really like throw way back music, way back. Those were my favorite artists. But pop wise, I did like Britney Spears. I wasn't like a diehard Britney Spears fan, but I did love like Lucky and Stronger and Hit Me Baby One More Time. That one was good. Crazy, of course. So those were my favorites from her. But honestly, I have to say like Earth, Wind and Fire and like all those 70s serious throwbacks that some of my friends today don't even know about. But those were my favorites back in the 90s. My favorite Nick Jr. show, Gullah Gullah Island, hands down. That show, oh my goodness, loved it, can't say enough about it. I love the little yellow frog thing. What's his name? He was a pollywog or a pallywag or something like that. I used to love that show. And they'd have Abuelo, so he would speak in Spanish, and that's probably another reason why I decided to study Spanish in college, because I love to listen to him talk in Spanish, and they'd have a little question and answer, so you could like practice these Spanish words, so like hola y adios y gracias y cosas así. I'm gonna start speaking in Spanish now because I go too long, but para continuar. Favorite candy? Twizzlers. Still my favorite candy. Will always be my favorite candy. There's no competition. I know some people said they taste like wax, but they just don't know what they're talking about, because Twizzlers are the best candies known in existence. Sorry, Twizzlers. Next, my favorite game. Oh, favorite game like a board game or school game. Okay, for one, it was charades. I still love charades. My mom and I still play that to this day. It's a little embarrassing, but it's fun, so whatever. And Operation. I loved to play Operation, even though I was really bad at it. The thing would inherently buzz every time. I didn't have that manual dexterity to get the wishbone. Always got me. Every single time, the wishbone, bzz, bzz. I used to hate that, but I would every single time try to get that wishbone. And I will one day get the wishbone. I haven't played Operation in years, but I bet you now, if I was given the opportunity, I would get that wishbone. My favorite McDonald's Happy Meal toy. Well, okay, I don't remember what movie this was for or what the purpose of it was, but it was a little moose. So random. It was a little brown moose with little white antlers. And he was kind of, pudgy. I don't know what movie this was possibly for. A forest themed movie or some sort of 90s theme. I really don't remember. I still have that little moose. I used to play with him all the time. His name is Morris, and he's still on my mantle in my room. So yes, I love Morris, and he's so cute. Okay, my favorite book. Well, in the 90s, really the only thing that I read, I didn't read any of the Goosebumps or anything like that as a kid. I read Nancy Drew mystery stories. Really old books, like the original ones, like that. I think my mom had some, and yeah, she used to read them as a kid, so I loved Nancy Drew mystery stories. I still will read a Nancy Drew story in a second. Like, I can read one in one day, so love Nancy Drew. My favorite clothing store. Well, in the 90s, I was still pretty young in the 90s, so I didn't really shop that much, so I'd have to say my favorite clothing store was my closet, because my mom, she's smart. What she used to do when I was a little kid, she would like get me stuff from like bargain places and like get the next several sizes up. So until I was about maybe 12, like 11 or 12, I really had no need to go shopping, because whenever I outgrew something, my mom would already have the next size in my closet. So basically I would just go shopping in there, like two big shoes, so like if my shoes were too small, she already have the next size in my closet, so I just go and get some. So yeah, that was my shopping experience. But today, and probably forever, discount bargain stores are my favorite places. I refuse to pay full price for anything. Never. What would you watch when you get home from school? Okay, so here's the other thing. I was homeschooled, so I was home all the time. So I really can't say what would I watch when I got home from school, because as a little kid I used to watch Sesame Street during lunch or Winnie the Pooh during lunch. And then after that, I don't really remember what would come on. I know I would watch Boy Meets World in the afternoon, so I think after I finished classes I would probably watch Boy Meets World, or just whatever else was on Disney Channel. I know Little Mermaid came on during the afternoon, so yeah, that's that. So I hope you enjoyed this tag video, guys. Got to learn a little bit more about my childhood and the cool, sometimes weird stuff that I would watch and enjoy back in the 90s. I really had an awesome time growing up in that decade, and I wouldn't have traded it for the world. But if I had to pick a decade to grow up in, it would probably still be the 90s, because I had such an awesome childhood, and I really wish I could go back to it. The more and more responsibilities that I get now, the more and more I wish I was back in the 90s watching Little Mermaid in the afternoon. So honestly, but we take things and we have to go in stages. Like, life always has different moments, and it's up to us to enjoy them and remember them and capture them. So I will remember the 90s forever. So anyway, I hope you guys liked it. Check out some more of my other videos. I'll post a couple links around here somewhere, or in the description box as well. So you can check out my last video here. And if you want to see more of me, you can click subscribe for more videos. I post videos about once a week, and hopefully I'll be able to get more regular since I'm not in school anymore for right now. So hopefully every week I'll try to shoot for every single Friday. But subscribe to my channel to see more. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, my Twitter handle is @mysunsetdreams, mysunset_dreams. And you can hang out with me all day if you follow me on Twitter. So I hope to see you guys next time, and until the next meeting, until then, peace. That's such a corny outro. I'm still working on that. Leave your suggestions for a good outro down below. All right, see you guys later.